Hi guys, welcome back to Nardi Elder Gaming and Jurassic World Evolution 3. So, what an awesome time for that Meg to jump out of the water. Brilliant. Right, so, what are we doing today? I'll tell you what we're doing today. We're going to finish off these lagoons because we're deciding that we're going to have a cliff face all the way along the back, which we'll have to finish off today. In here, we're going to either have mosasaurs or chronosaurs, or maybe even both. Might have both, actually. And we just need to finish off our actual entrance into this place, which so far is looking pretty cool. So let's drop the viewer down so we can see what it looks like as we wander in. So we've got a nice treed off entranceway. So we go under the cliff face there, which I might put more trees and that up on top to hide it off a bit. Through the tunnel, and it leads you out onto this beach area, and then from the beach area you can actually go in and enter the viewing areas. This one's not in the best position to see the feeding, to be honest. Oops. So I reckon if we were to go down possibly to this one, this would be a better position. And of course we could drop down underwater as well to watch it from there. There's the Megs now coming along. Maybe one of them's going to feed. Let's just hang on a sec and see if we can see that. Not going to do it, are they? Just to wind me up, they're not going to do it. Oh well. Not to worry, we got other things that we need to be dealing with. So right, we need to start getting these cliffs along here. I love the patterning on those Megs. Looks really good. Easily distracted. Right, so let's have a look. Let's get our rocks back. There we go, it's looking good so far. That one is gigantic. Just make it a little bit smaller. Don't want it sticking quite out quite as much as that. I do like the way that these rocks actually slot together nicely. So they don't all look out of place and weird. Doesn't take long to do this either. Let's get some higher ones going again. I may even have to get some trees and that on top of these. But I don't think I'll do that during the actual build, because that'd just be a bit boring, to be honest. So it's looking good so far. We're nearly there now. Not much to go. Oh, that don't look right, does it? Let's block that off a little bit. That's better. Don't want those sort of little gaps appearing underneath. Just won't look right. So I'm thinking that once we finish putting these in, this is going to look quite good, I think. So right, let's have a look at that. We'll go down this end and see exactly how it looks. So it's cliff faces all the way. One of the megs just jumped. There we go. That is looking good. I like that. Gives a completely different look to this area of the park. Yeah, I like that. Right, so now what we need to do is in this little area here, I want to put a couple of amenities. So I think we need definitely a restroom up here somewhere. Let's put that one there. I think we'll have a I think we'll go for small shopping areas in this area. So that's a small shopping. Small food. And then I think finally up here we should have the drinks place. The bar. Not drinks place, the bar. And then what we can do is we can make like a neat area here. Might be able to put palms and that around here if there's palms in it. I haven't really looked in the foliage, to be honest. But let's just path all these up together. Didn't want that to start bending round, to be honest. Just going to leave that like that for a minute. And then in here, let's give that a little grassy area there so it's not all sand. No, that ain't no good. Just gives a little bit of colour down to this area. And then it sort of merges back in with what we have around here. So by the time we get down here, we're back on normal. Once more. So what I need to do now is match this path up with that one. Why is that saying that's still not connected? Because none of them are, that's why. Because I haven't connected anything. Right, okay. So let's connect these up so we can actually start getting visitors in. Do it from there so I can actually see what's going on. Right, so hopefully now, if I connect this one up to this one, the new area should be open.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new lagoon viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our reptiles.
There we go. So all of this should be open now. Excellent. Right, so let's see if we do have palm trees or anything like that. Yes, we have. We got loads.
Beneath the surface of the water, deep in the depths of history, lie magnificent marine parks. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be amazed. The temperatures of the prehistoric waters were thought to have been significantly warmer than they are.
That one I don't want. For obvious reasons. Why is it? It keeps trying to get me to demolish the amenity, but I don't want to. I'll demolish this. Damn it. That was not what I wanted. Right, so I think that was the food one went in there, wasn't it? Oh, stop snapping. Oh, that is really annoying. Don't keep doing that. No, that's not where I want it. God, I hate it when it does things like that. You piece of shit. I got the access lock on it. Off, but it won't stop it from trying to go in there. Off. Annoying. Right, I think we've just put that one in back slightly, and I'm just going to have to put some path underneath it to make it look right. It doesn't look right. I don't like it, but... yeah, not 100% chuffed with that, but we'll have to live with it. Right, so now I've lost all my palms from down there. Let's try and be a little bit more careful with it this time. Where were they? No, it wasn't those, was it? Wasn't those. Was it them? Was it them? I think it might have been them. Yeah, I think that's looking good, isn't it? Yeah, I like that.
The marine reptiles you see before you were once part of a remarkable underwater realm, with food chains and ecosystems often dominated by animals like these.
So that's good. We're getting quite a few people coming into these. So what we really need is to connect this one up as well. And then I can put a mosasaur and a couple of chronosaurs in there. Can't remember how many mosasaurs I had in the other one, whether it was only one or whether it was a couple. Right, so let's get some viewing platforms in here. Lagoon view. Have a feeding post there. It's a shame you can't put these right next to each other. Oh, why is that obstructed? Right, I think that one just have to be 3. That'll do. I don't mind it just being 3. Right, so let's path those up. Something sounded a bit mournful back then. That's probably not going to go round there, is it? So I might have to do a path going around the edge and leading up to here in order to link those ones up. Oh no, there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new lagoon viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our marvelous marine reptiles.
Doesn't look great, but I'm going to hide that with some foliage. I don't want them too big, to be honest. A couple of biggish ones, but nothing over the top.
When these animals first inhabited the Earth's ocean, the prehistoric seas were also home to a myriad of fish, ammonites, and other water-dwelling life forms.
Got floating ones again.
When these animals first inhabited the Earth's oceans, the prehistoric seas were also home to a myriad of fish, ammonites, and other water-dwelling life forms.
Right, was that all the floating ones? No. Hate it when they do that, when they float. Right, I think that's it for the floating items. Apart from that one.
Thank you for joining us.
Right, we'll have to
Find out what lies underneath the
be a little
waves?
bit more
We
careful.
hope so, because
Oops.
you may well get wet.
Let's have a look what we can do here with desert. Let's just change that up a little bit. That looks okay. Give that a little bit of life along there. I'm going to change this little bit here to sort of be coming into arid. I can put probably some plant life around here to sort of hide the change. That doesn't look too bad. Right, I'm going to need to think about what to do there. So we're going to come back to that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually get some animals in this area. So we've got the Mosasaurus and we've got the Chronosaurus, which I think we're going to put both of those in the same environment. So I've got two of those down the other end, which I think I will move up here. And meantime, I will breed a couple of these. Let's have a look at their colouring. See, that's very Liopleurodon looking from Walking with Dinosaurs, isn't it? Let's have a look what we can do with the male colouring. I quite like that. That looks alright. So, with that as the male, that is the female. And we will have one of each. And then I need to get those mosasaurs over here.
Synthesis.
Intolerant and aggressive. What could go wrong, eh? Right, so next thing that I'm going to move on to after this is we're going to have some hybrids. We're going to go into hybrids. So I want to make an Indominus, definitely. So that will be the next move. This will go straight onto Indominus territory. So I'm thinking of the Indominus, making it look that dangerous, so it'll have solid walls all the way around, and the only way you can see it is through viewing galleries. Give it that sort of added little hint of danger.
Named after Kronos, king of the Titans in Greek mythology. The Kronosaurus is a suitably titanic animal. This is a marine reptile that even a shark would think twice about confronting.
Right, so they need fish. So let's get a fish feeder in there. Oops. Let's put one there. And we'll have one at the other side there. So now they should be happy, hopefully. Yeah, right. Now it's time to venture over here. And find the mosasaurs. Right, so let's get those darted.
Assigning task to the drone. Confirming task.
So this area here is going to have the less dangerous marine species, and over the other side of the park you can go to see the very dangerous ones, even though Dunkleosteus are probably very dangerous. Come on, whirly birds. Taking your time. Mind you, it gives me a chance to have a sip of my coffee. Right. Let's go right down this side. Make sure I get him in the right lagoon.
Collecting asset. Picking up asset.
There we go. Yeah, it's such a shame there's no way of turning off the water on that so you can actually do something with this area.
Asset transportation in progress.
But anyway, that's not looking bad at the moment. So I think I'm going to do the same sort of thing here. They said not with the tunnel. The tunnel's just for the entrance. So coming down this way, I think what we need to do, maybe get rid of this path, to be honest. We don't need that one, and then this can be trees and stuff like that down here. Maybe an emergency shelter in case one of the megalodons jumps out of the water and flaps around trying to catch people. You never know. Right. So, let's start thinking about what to do with the Indominus. So let's sort of think first about the size of the environment for him. Or her. Right, so if we bring it back to about here, I think then I might have the whole area sort of fenced off, and then you come inside, there's like a double skin, and you've got the viewing galleries inside. Because it's such a dangerous animal, you don't want to let it out loose. You don't want it getting loose. And I reckon that might be a big enough area for it. So let's work on the double skin. So it's going to have heavy fence. There we go, that I think looks okay. So if we have, say down this side here, no, right, let's have the double skin coming down there, and then it could sort of hexagon around it there. I'm not sure what I'm doing here at the moment. I'm just playing with the idea of what to do. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a double skin in there because it's so dangerous. And then I think what we need to do is viewing platforms need to be like big ones outside. So if we put one there, we put one there, then there's two viewing areas. So let's see what the view would be like. So you'd see the whole area, that's good. And then, of course, the rangers would need to get in. So, to make this look even more dangerous, I'm gonna put the gates in. Shall we have the original gates? Or shall we have them? They look more secure, don't they? So we can have that one there and that one there. So it gives it that impression that it's more like a fortress to keep this thing in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to really sort of tree the area up for it. Do you know what? What would be good is if I actually look to see if I can even make an Indominus. I didn't even look at that. Let's have a look. Indominus, yeah. And we can do Indoraptor as well. Morris Intrepidus. I want to have some of them at some point. A few of those little ones wandering around. We haven't done Dilophosaurus. We definitely need those. And I want some Allosaurus in here as well. Would like Aquacantho, but I think we might be running out of room by the time we start thinking about Metriacantho as well. Proceratosaurus. And the Scorpius. We've got the Scorpius there. So we've got the free weirdos. So so we got the free hybrids. So let's we've only got the female of those, so I think we'll stay faithful with the colouring on that. So let's have a look. What does this one need? Dislikes everything. Of course it does. Prey, water 10%, pasture 67, cover 23. See, I would have said it needed more cover. Right, okay, so let's do its area out with plenty of cover, I suppose. Plenty of pasture, sorry. And then we'll work on cover. Just wondering whether this area inside should all be... let's not do it with path. Let's see if I can actually colour it to look. Does that look right? Because I might put some put some path over the top of that as well. And then we can put some tree line up the back there to cover that. And what I'm going to do to actually make it look even more dangerous is I'm going to have a ranger station right outside. Just make it look completely different. Right, let's see if it will let me do a path going down. No. Okay, that's no problem. Right, let's get back on that painting. There we go. Right, so in here it wants pasture. So let's do some pasture here. Yeah, let's do some brushland pasture instead. Make it look a little bit more as though they actually gave a shit about the animal. Let's melt that snow. Go gently down the edges here. Right, let's just make that small to do the corners. Right. That's looking good. Now, what I really want to do is put loads and loads of trees in this area. Let's like so. A small amount of water in there. And then what I want to do is intermingle some palms. So it looks like they've tried to do the same sort of thing as in Jurassic World with its environment, where it seemed to have a lot of palms and stuff like that all around. I've left this area a little bit flat as well, which I probably should have adjusted. But then again, perhaps that could just be another thing that they've done here to make it secure so that they can actually see it at all times. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks good. So even if it gets through the first skin, it's got to get through the second skin before it can go anywhere. And by that time, the rangers should be on it. So I'm thinking about actually putting the hatchery over here, if I can. I'm not sure whether I'll actually manage to fit it in there. I think it might be a bit too big. Yeah, so I think what I might have to do is have it outside. Sort of up here, right next to the gates. So if I do it there, it actually looks as though it's part of this construction here. And then down directly opposite, I'll put a ranger station. Where's the rangers? Ranger teams, there we go. So anyone coming down here thinks, you know, they ain't messing around. This thing's dangerous and they're making sure that it can't get out. So if I pave this whole area, so let's take control of this. There we go, so that's not too bad.
Switching roles. Should we do them with Jurassic World skins?
Yeah, let's give them Jurassic World skins. And the same with the helicopter. Can we not change the skins on there? Oh, there we go. Jurassic World, there we go. Mr. Maserani's helicopter. Right, so let's see. So we need to path this up a little bit. Right, so that one can go across to there. And then from here, we can bring that path around. There, right, so that's secured that one. And then what we really need is gates and something over here to stop anyone from going through that way. Because that is a no-go. So to get to that one, you have to come around the outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing platform, ready for you to gain an elevated view of our wonderful dinosaurs.
There we go. So I think in here I want to put some like some construction type stuff to make it look as though they're not too sure about this area. So let's see if we can get a forklift. There we go. Let's go for a container. So that one chucked up against there. And then switch off the random scale on these ones. Let's have a look for... There we go, that looks like the perfect carrying device. Chuck down a couple of tents. You know what would be quite interesting is if we sort of did one on this side. And then one on that side. To make it look like there's something in there. Then I wonder if I can do... Right, so I need a couple of things to go around here. Let's see, there's a sign for danger. Oh, I can use some of these, can I? Right, there's nothing I can use right now, but not to worry. Let's see what else we got in props that could go there and just make it look. Does that work on top? Doesn't really work, does it? Let's get rid of that. I think I might put a couple more tents down here on either side. Right, so that's an area that I can do some more messing around with. Right, so I'd want fencing around this area and a gate there. So if I did... that's a shame that won't go on there. Let's have a look in here for gates. Forgot about using these, to be honest. Are they both Jurassic? Oh, they're both Jurassic Park. I thought they might have been Jurassic World one as well. Right, anyway. Oh, that's the Jurassic World one. Right, okay. Let's see if I were to do... Hang on, how do I get a left and a right out of this? Okay, let's get rid of that. I don't really like that. Right. So if I do... It's difficult trying to think of how to do this. Because I want this sort of area blocked and then they're sort of made to walk around there to get to the viewing platform. But at the same time, they need to get in and out. So, if I delete that... No, I know why. So if I put that one there, then I make like a path. There we go, that's not too bad. So, if I now fence this off, doesn't need to be heavy at this point. Just needs to be blocking people off, really. Stopping them from getting in. Because their path is going to go on a different route. Right, the only problem with that now is that's going to block off from there. Right, we've got to think about this. How are we going to do this? So if we do the secondary path now,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added
right, so that's done
ready for you
those.
to gain an elevated view of our wonderful dinosaurs.
Now I need to just sort something out here. So I wonder what would happen if I just got rid of one part of this fence. And I'll have to make some kind of artificial gate there. So let's have a look at the gates again. No, that's not big enough. So if I've got an idea that might work. So if I go back to gates. How big's that? Quite big, but not quite right. So if I were to put that say there, block that off like that. Make it look as though eventually this is going to be an entrance to the exhibit. Okay, so that's looking okay. I want to make it look like some work is going on here as well, so I'll put a forklift here. And I think we'll have one of those cages as well. We'll sort of sit that out just outside there. Wonder if there's any piles of stuff. No, that's just rocks. Let's stick some crates around. There we go. So I can think of more stuff to go in there in time. Doesn't all have to go in just now. So I think what we do need to do is to put our Indominus in there. First thing we need though is a feeding spot for him. Otherwise he won't be too happy. Let's then put a live prey feeder in there. It's going to be a female, isn't it? Right, so let's find her. There she is. The Indominus. And that should be the original Lux. So let's begin the task. And we can get her put into that environment. So this is to make her out to be the most dangerous animal in the whole of the park. Let me just see if I can just wondering whether I can bring that down a little bit so we haven't got the, so I can get rid of this one at the back here so it doesn't look quite so out of place. Why does it not let me delete that one? I can't delete it. Come on, one more. What's the point? Come on. No, I can't have a fence lying around. It looks stupid. Right. Come back to that. See if there's any vehicles. Oh, there's nothing there. Okay. So that's not going to work then. Let's try a truck. No. Right. Oh, hang on. No, those are just bays, aren't they? Water tower. Damn. It's a bit annoying because I thought that was going to actually put a helicopter pad there. What's this? Just want to chuck a few little things in just to give it that look, you know. Good thing with little bits like this, you can literally just chuck them anywhere. There we go. So that gives a little bit more life to this area. Right, so let's incubate our female. Cost over 2 million to make this one. So yeah, I mean, when you look at that, it looks like an absolute fortress. That whatever's in there, they do not want it getting out. How's my mosasaurs doing? Where's my chronosaurs? There they are. So they seem to be living okay with the mosasaurs. Of course they are, because I've switched off the non-code habitation, haven't I? Right.
Assets requiring collection.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an Indominus
There was a time where I had nothing but respect for the great minds behind this hybrid. The research it required, the careful genetic splicing of so many exaggerated predator characteristics. Now I respect its creators far less, but the Indominus Rex itself still demands awe.
There we go. Right, so hopefully we should start getting some viewership in there. We got people starting to appear around here. And we've got so much space to fill in yet. So let's go back and let's have a look through and see how the rest of the park is doing. Because we've made some alterations. So let's have a look. So here's where we enter the park. And down here is the way to the first exhibits. I really should put one of the gates there, shouldn't I? Right, that's the ranger outpost. So the first place we come to is the hadrosaurs. Oh, and the trikes. I forgot the trikes were in there as well. So we can also see those from one of these towers. So let's nip up there, have a look in here.
During most of your tour, the appropriate information will be automatically selected and displayed for you. Simply touch the area of the screen displaying the appropriate icon.
There's a good view of the hadrosaurs. So once we're done with the hadrosaurs, we move on. That's another hadrosaur viewing area there. Now what did we have over here?
Edmontosaurus may not have a striking cranial crest like other species of large hadrosaur, but instead receives adoration for its toothless beak, with its mouth shaped
I think this
similarly
should
to
be the
that of a duck or a
Therizinosaurus.
spoonbill.
But there's no sign of them. So we might have to see if we can see them from here somewhere. Well, it's a little bit worrying that I can't see anything in there. Right, that is a bit concerning. Right, so next, down here, we have the compies and the coelophysis. And they're happy enough. And then here we've got a breeding area. And then we start to come up against the lagoons. Just trying to find my way around my own lagoon here. Alright. That's the hatchery. So we can hear velociraptors. No, they're up over there.
This lagoon is home to the prehistoric life of the seas. Take a moment to leave land and air behind and dive into...
I'm getting screen tearing. Let me see. Let's go into settings and see if I can put a vertical sync on. Desync, there we go. So let's see if that's better. So let's drop him back down again. Yeah, it feels a bit better. Right, so that was one of the viewing platforms. Let's have a look at this one.
When these animals first inhabited the Earth's oceans, the prehistoric seas were also home to a myriad of fish, ammonites, and other water-dwelling life forms.
No, we're not getting a jump in display there. I'm a little bit concerned about that area. Right. What was down here, or did this? Oh, right, that just joins up with this. There's the raptors. So that's velociraptors. So this should be Deinonychus. Which we can't see, so we got a no-show on our dinosaur show. On our dinosaur tour. But yeah, the velociraptors are okay. They're showing themselves off. So here we've got Spinosaurus. Can't see the spinos, but they're over there somewhere. We can hear one of our #1 exhibits.
Automatically
What's in this
selected
one?
and displayed for you. Simply touch the area of the screen displaying the appropriate icon.
Oh, right, Giganotosaurus. That is an awesome view. I mean, we got some serious thumbnail going on there, haven't we? Right, so let's get back on track over here. Still can't see the spinos. Right, so now we're moving on to probably our main attraction, which will be the T-Rexes. There's one over there. Oh, all three of them are over there. Well, at least the Rexes weren't hiding. Wondering whether to do a high up observation for the Spinos, to be honest. Right, so what have we got here? That's the Gigas again, isn't it? So the problem is we haven't seen all of the raptors. So we've got to remember to go down to see them. Don't need to use that one because the Rexes are down the other end. And then we come to the aviary. Have another view of the Gigas through here if they're around. Right, that's a good view. So we can see all of them. Just making a little note then. So, moving on. So after the Gigas, we've got the Gallimimus, the Ornithomimus. I can't use that. That's the underground travel. Were these the Ornithomimus? No, sauropods. What am I talking about? These are sauropods. Gallimimus are further up yet.
Displaying the appropriate icon.
There we go. They're up in the trees over there. So we got our two Brachios. I'm not sure whether that's a Dreadnoughtus or a Mamenchisaurus. So if we go down the other one now, we should be able to get a better view. Of the big sauropods, and we've got the underground viewing platform there as well. So that's where most of them hang out. I need to make some more pathways leading out of these large viewing platforms. Ah, there we go. That's the... Thought he was having a heart attack then. There we go. So there's the sauropods. Oh, we got one out on his own over here. Let's see what he is. Right, okay, so that's the sauropods. Got a hotel there. And then this area here is our little plaza to take a rest and all that. And then here
As we continue, we reach Gallimimus territory. The name Gallimimus means chicken milling, referring to the similarities that its neck vertebrae bears to galliforms such as turkeys, pheasants, and of course chickens.
So they're not running along the plains at the moment, unfortunately. Let's overtake that one. You see him over there in the distance. There's one. The visibility of my gallows ain't all that good, to be honest.
Now we reach our Struthiomimus setting. Struthiomimus is an ostrich-like ornithopod from North America. Although many species of carnivorous theropod have stunted forelimbs, this bipedal dinosaur possesses proportionate
There we go, there's one.
hands.
No, I'm stuck inside.
Please take appropriate measures before embarkation.
Right, here we should have our oviraptors. There we go, just about to see him in there. Right, so we can actually look at our ornithomimids from up there as well. So we can get a view of them. Loads of them in there. Right, so moving on from here. Now we're heading towards our lagoon. Zzz, because there's two of them. I need to put the word lagoon above there as well.
There is nothing quite like feeding time at our marine reptile enclosure. Keep an eye on our feeding timetable. and join
So if we look at...
absolutely breathtaking display.
Oh, we just missed that, look. So these are the megalodons. So we move up further. Across the sand, I'll have to do something in this area.
Beneath the surface of the water, deep in the depths of previous
So here we can see
magnificent marine marvels. Ladies and
Kronosaurus
gentlemen,
and
prepare
Mosasaur.
to be amazed.
Let's drop down and see if there's anything visible lower down. There's something over there.
Almost 300 serrated
Oh, that's
teeth
still
line the
Megalodon.
enormous jaws of the megalodon. These allow this macro-predatory shark to rip and tear at its prey, biting with truly phenomenal force.
Right, so that's it. We come up out of that one. Let's just see how they... Yeah, the trees look okay on the background there. Quite like them. Oh. So I can't get through that gap there. Not to worry, we're cheap. Right, so let's head in and have a look at the mosasaurs and the kronosaurs, if we can see any of them. Had it on pause for some reason then. Right, let's jump in to this one.
Our seas today are often dwarfed by some of the colossal aquatic species that held dominion over the oceans millions of years ago.
There's one. Well, it's the first time I've seen a shark get taken from below the surface. So that was interesting.
There is nothing quite like feeding time at our marine reptile enclosure. Keep an eye on our feeding timetable and join us for an absolutely breathtaking display.
Okay, so that's that one. Whoops. My mouse just escaped from me there. So then as we're coming around here, I'll have to put a path around here. This is where we see this. So we go up and view in there, and there's our Indominus.
An amalgamation of the most fearsome, cunning, and dangerous predators to have ever walked the earth, Indominus Rex is a spectacular hybrid unlike anything the world has ever seen.
So that's a good view of him. So this is where we go down now, and we see that that area is all blocked off. I'm going to put trees and that around here. So when you get down here, you see that there's a large gate there, but you can't get in. But you can come round and look in here. So there are a few people coming down this way. And that at the moment is the end of the tour. But there's so much more to do. So let's have a look. So I think we should go on to the next one, which will be the, where are you? The Indoraptor. Again, we can only get females of this one. So I think what we'll do is we'll try and go for 2 of those. It'll only give us 1 at a time. So we'll go for another one. So we need to build its enclosure here. Just trying to think of how big to do this enclosure for them. I suppose what we could do as well is we could actually additional bays, let's use that one. Let's have a look what it needs. 18% water, pasture 72, and barren. So it doesn't like cover. Okay. So mostly pasture, barren, and water. So not going to need as much room as the... Do you know what? I think I might just change that outside wall a minute. Because it didn't look straight, did it? I think that looks a bit better. Right, so for the let's go. Right, so what sort of size do we need for this one? Where's the, oh, it's there, isn't it? So I'm wondering about giving it something around about that sort of size. Would that be too big? It's not anywhere near as big as that, is it? It's only half the sort of size. So let me just see. Where's our raptors? So that's still bigger than the raptors, isn't it? So let's drop it down to about that size. Right, so we put secure fencing around this one as well. What are we going to do with its environment? I think we might make its environment a bit sort of rocky, a little bit uneven, because it's not seen as being as dangerous as the other one. So let's make it a little bit uneven in there. I quite like that actually, that might work for them. And then we can put some water there, and then we can smoothen it out a little bit. Like that. See, I don't mind that. That looks alright. Let's smoothen that down a little bit though, because that's probably where the viewing's going to be. So let's get some barren in there. Let's have that going around, sort of outline of it. That's not looking too bad. Just trying to see if there's anything I can put on barren. A bit of sand around there. Right, so let's fence it off. We have medium electrified fences for this one. Let's try and match it up best we can with that one. It's not really matched up, but right, so that's their enclosure done, which was quite a quick and easy one because they don't really like any plants, do they? Right, begin the incubation on that one and on that one. Right, so let's get rid of the snow. We don't need the outline anymore. Let's put some pasture in there. There we go. That's not looking too bad at all. As I said, it's quite a quick one because they don't require a lot. As usual, though, they're probably miserable, but there you go. Right, let's get a fence in there. A gate, rather. And we better put a live food feeder in there. Right, so we'll put them in and we'll see how they like it.
Heading to collect the asset.
Let's check in on him, see how miserable he is. He's got too much cover. He doesn't like that, but I like the cover.
Ladies
Not
and
enough
gentlemen,
pasture.
We are pleased to welcome an
Not enough
Indoraptor
water.
to the park.
Not enough prey. Right, so
Transit has commenced.
let's put another one of those in for him. Wants more pasture. Let's give him a little bit more pasture. Prey is okay. He wants a little bit more water.
The Indoraptor. This is a hybrid predator that is as much weapon as dinosaur. I have to question why it exists at all, but at least it's under our care. Have your guard up at all times around this animal.
Right, let's have a look. Better give it a bit of time to adjust, I suppose. Not sure if it's wise having two of these together.
En route to collect the asset.
Right, let's have a
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an Indoraptor to the park.
right, how's he looking?
Assets in the air.
Need to give him a bit of time to have a look at his territory. But let's path it up so that we can get visitors in there straight away.
Asset delivered.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery.
So let's see what the view
ready
is
for you
like.
to observe our magnificent animals.
The viewing of them isn't very good. Right. Not enough barren. Blimey, it needs a lot of prey, this thing. Right, let's give it some more feeders. Keep it happy. Right, that amount coming out should keep it happy-ish. Right, he's going to have to live with that, I think. I think we need an up tall one as well, don't we?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing platform, ready for you to gain an elevated view of our wonderful dinosaurs.
Right, there's loads of prey running around for him, so they should be happy with that. So I think at the back, I think we need rocks again, don't we? But I won't put them quite as huge, I don't think. There we go, some rocks in the background, so let's see what the view's like in there now. Seems to be something missing, so I think we should actually put some rocks in their environment as well. Alright, that looks a little bit more interesting. I think we need a little bit of foliage or something around here. Should give that a little bit more of an interesting look, I think. I know they don't really want anything like that, but there we go. Sort of breaks the back up a little bit, doesn't it? I know it looks a little bit... Let's drop my mouse again. Because I'm holding my mouse on a tray on my lap. And when I let go of it, it sort of slides forward a bit. Right, let's see how unhappy he is now. Well, he's got enough barren. But not enough pasture. Okay. Let's change that for pasture there. It's a bit better. Not enough water. I thought there would have been plenty of water. How's that? Is that a bit better water-wise? 15%. These ones are never happy, are they? Right. So, I'm quite happy with the way that one's gone. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this area up here with trees. There we go, so that sort of breaks that bit up a little bit. Can I do the same along the back here, I wonder? That's good. Yeah, it breaks up a bit. I'll put some up over here. Because I think in this area here... No, actually, I think directly opposite here is where we'll probably do the Scorpio Rex. So let's have a look what they require. There they are. Weird looking things. So they like pasture, they like a bit of cover. They like water. Only about 13%, that's not too bad. And I would imagine as well, there isn't really much we can do with those. So we've got 215A and 215B, so we could probably mix those up a little bit, couldn't we? One of each colour. So what else can we be looking at for next time? Dimetrodon, I wouldn't mind doing a few Dimetrodon. Let's see what they like. They like arid, 5% cover. They like deep water. Okay. Yeah, so we can probably do some of those. And as I said, I want to do Allosaurus at some point soon as well. Let's see. I think we're done on the Supermimus. Wouldn't mind a Supermimus, to be honest. But we'll have to see. I mean, we've already got the Spinosaurus, Baryonyx as well. Dryosaurus. We could do some small Dryosaurus somewhere. Homolosophile. Yeah, actually, we could do those. Many Pachycephalosaurs. There we go. So yeah, we can do Pachycephalosaurus in with Homolosophile. I'm wondering whether to do a specific area now for the ceratopsians, so I could move the Trikes over, get some Styracosaurus, Sinoceratops, get some of those in there. I'm trying to avoid these ones because I don't really like those. Don't like the looks of them. The Pseudoceratops, Microceratus, we could put those in there as well. Lokiceratops, Chasmosaurus, yes, definitely got to have Chasmosaurus in there. I really like the look of their frills. So yeah, I think that's what we are going to be looking at on the next one, I think. So yeah, the plan is then we do... Where are they gone? There it is. So we'll do something with the Scorpius Rex. And we'll look at making a decent enclosure for the Ceratopsians. So Scorpio Rex will probably go along there. And then perhaps down. Should we carry on going down there and then we can work our way back towards the entrance? Then we can fill the middle up with other stuff, can't we? So that sounds like a plan to me. So yeah, so we'll do Scorpius Rex here. Then we'll move down. We'll have the Ceratopsians. We'll make a nice big enclosure for them. And we'll see which see what kind of environments they like. But we'll look at that on the next one. So if you want to join me for that, remember to like and subscribe to the channel and all that jazz. And I will see you on the flip side. I'll catch you all later.